record. Okay, let's do this. Ready two, start your move. Ready fade up on two. Ready open mics. Ready roll music. Ready one, start your move. Ready title. Ready cue host. Two, start your move. Roll music. Fade up on two. Title in. Title out. Open mics. Ready music out. One, start your move. Ready title. Cue host. Music out. Dissolve.
Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us on
Title.
Upcoming Artists. Today we have a very
Title out.
special guest, a dear friend of mine and a phenomenal
Title
guitarist. He's also decided to
Title
share
out.
some of his gifts
Man's
and
title.
talents with others, as well as some information to us. So
Ready,
go ahead
take
and welcome
three.
Caleb Carroll.
Take three.
Thanks so much for joining us, Caleb.
Thank you, Megan, for having me.
Title
Great,
out.
so just tell me a little bit about how you got started with the guitar.
Well, my dad's a band director, so music kind of runs in the family. But as they also say, the apple falls far from the tree. So I tried to stay away from music for as long as possible. They tried to get us, do piano lessons 15 minutes a day, or I tried to pick up the trumpet for 3 days, I think. So for most of my childhood, I stayed away from instruments. But when it came time to go to college, branch away from the family a little bit, get some independence, I tried to, I decided to pick up a hobby or something, and couldn't always stick to the books. So I picked up the guitar. And the summer before I came to college, I found an old guitar in my grandmother's attic, and we kind of resurrected it and brought that with me, and I've been teaching myself ever since.
Wow, and teaching yourself, does that include looking up it on the internet or reading books or just picking it up and plucking? Or?
Actually, a combination of all three of those. I started off just using like the internet and my iPod. Like I find a song that I figured I could play. It had like maybe 3 chords in it or something like that. It was simple, or I wanted to play it. Then I go online, figure out what the chords are, and then you try to figure out all the hand positions and strumming patterns, and you take it real slow until you can finally play with the CD or with the iPod, and it was really rewarding. Later on, I picked up books from the library on specific techniques from specific time periods, like way back when, at the beginning of rock and roll, or some of the more folksy stuff, and you just figure out different flares and different styles that they used.
Ready, take two. Take two.
Yeah, and a lot of it is just sitting down and playing, and you find out what sounds good, and it's a combination of those.
And so you've taken what you've learned now, and I know that you've been starting to teach a little bit to some kids back in this past summer. And how's that been for you?
Take three.
Yeah, actually, it's been really fun. During my college experience and about sophomore and junior years, I've been kind of teaching some of the people around the dorm how to play. They come up and ask, like, how do you play this? And I can show them a few things, but it kind of got my foot in the door for teaching. It's like, well, it's not that hard, I guess. I mean, it's something that I know I can do, and it's not terribly complicated to show someone else how to do it. So, going for some quick cash over the summer, you pitch the idea at the local K through 12, and I got a couple bites. I got a 9 and 10-year-old, they were brothers, and a middle schooler who's actually on the baseball team with my little brother who goes to that school.
Take three.
And they come from different guitar backgrounds. The middle schooler had already played before. He played in a praise band, and the 9 and 10-year-olds had just picked it up for the first time. So,
Take two.
you got to teach him Amazing Grace, which has, 3 chords and it's super slow. And the other guy, he knew how to play that. He could play Hotel California. So,
Okay.
just trying to teach him. You got to interpret where they're at and then figure out, what can you show? What can I give to them that I can do? I was afraid I couldn't teach the middle school or anything, but it turned out I had a few tricks up my sleeve that he didn't know.
And did this experience of actually teaching teach you anything in turn?
Ready, take three.
Yeah, like I usually say, it helps you to learn things by teaching it. I know it helps me in physics and my engineering work. That's my major at school. To grab a random passerby, a victim, and teach at them my work, so that I have to articulate it. I have to break it down into simple steps, and once I hear myself telling somebody else, it's a lot easier for me to understand it. And the same thing applies to guitar. You get someone who's just picking it up and like, I know how to do chords, I know how to do scales, I know how to do these, but they don't. So I have to break it down into bite-sized pieces so that they get it. And then once they get it, I figure out, oh, this is a lot simpler than I've been making it, or it's a lot more complex. Maybe I shouldn't be taking this for granted. Maybe there's more to this. So it really helps me by articulating what I know to really get a better grasp on what I already know.
And you understand it better. That's awesome. And any specific favorite genre in closing remark?
Post rap.
I love country music. I'm guilty.
Well, I gotta cut you off right there. We're running short in time. But thanks so much for sharing with us, and thank you so much for tuning in. Next week on Upcoming Artists, we'll be interviewing a budding new photographer who's been taking beautiful pictures of the surrounding scenery. We'll see you next week. Have a great night.
Close mics. Ready credits. Roll credits. Take credits. Ready black up and under. Take black up and under. Ready fade audio, fade video. Fade audio, fade video. All right. Great job, guys. Thanks.